Hello, my lovelies. Well, I just thought I'd do this reaction video to Greta Thunberg and what she was saying when she was interviewed in Paris by journalists after the kidnapping by the Israelis. You know, when she was kidnapped, her and her friends. Do you know, she really needs to talk to someone who's really been held hostage to find out what being kidnapped and held hostage is really like. But anyway, it was interesting watching this because of the way she avoids answering questions or elaborating. It's very telling because she's working from a narrative. I've worked that out. It's a narrative. Israelis bad, never good, evil. Palestinians victims, nice people. We should help them. That's the narrative she's got to go by, and she can't break that narrative at any point. Now, apparently, her and her friends were also offered to see film of what happened on October 7th, and they all refused to do so. Now, in my mind, that is a statement, a massive statement they have all made. And that is no matter what, they're not going to show any sympathy or any understanding for the Israelis. Now, lots of people, I'd say the majority of people who are against what Israel is doing in Palestine, will still say what Hamas did on October the 7th is horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. These lot are refusing to even look at the footage. So what they're saying, by implication, or it says to me, the sufferings of the Jewish people is inconsequential. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, but the sufferings of the Palestinians does matter. You see, it's not a balanced view, and it's a narrative. Anyway, just let's listen to this and you'll see what I mean by she will not break her narrative on this. Bad guys Israelis all the time, good guys Palestinians.
Which is very worrying because people were not being treated well. I was not able to say goodbye to people, and I don't know what's happening. And
now, she was not allowed to say goodbye to people. Are you kidding me? That's a great travesty. They only held her for a few hours, didn't they? And then sent her back home, or to she's there in Paris waiting to go back home. I don't know. But the worst thing was that she wasn't allowed to hug and kiss her friends goodbye.
there were many issues.
See, many issues, but you'll see she won't elaborate on what these issues are. But the only thing she can think of is that the worst of them must be she wasn't allowed to say goodbye to her friends.
When you say they're not treated well, what do you mean?
Well,
Could you elaborate for us?
obviously in a very dehumanizing way.
So when she says dehumanising, the first question that would come to my mind, what do you mean in a dehumanising way? Were you roughly treated? Were you beaten up? What happened? See what her response is.
But of course, I have to stress nothing compared to what Palestinians are going through.
But still, can you give us some, what happened to you when you arrived in Ashdod port? I mean, were you taken off the boat? Was there any
Now, here's a quick one to look at. Look at this, that little smirk.
Were you taken off the boat? Was there any violence?
Look at this, condescending little smirk.
Were you taken off the boat? Was there any violence?
Just look at that again.
Were you taken off the boat? Was there any violence?
Now, this is always passed off by Thunberg supporters. And I used to be one when she was going on a try and save the planet and all this. I thought, here's a young girl that really is passionate about the planet and trying to save us. Though she went too far with it. Now I don't support her. And it's not just over this Palestine thing. It's just because it's such a PR stunt. She's using that situation to keep herself relevant. See, every hero, every heroine needs a battle to fight. And that's her battle. Like they were going to open a way in for food and supplies to Gaza in a little boat. It was all a publicity stunt. But look at that little smirk. Just look at it once more. I'm sorry. That little smirk.
Were you taken off the boat? Was there any violence? Were you detained? How? Where?
Now, what he's doing there, he's asking her, was she detained? How? Where? Was there any violence? Get this. This is what I mean about she's got to stay by the narrative. Bad Israelis. Always bad. Nice, loving Palestinians.
No, I prefer not to go into details about that.
Yeah, because she can't go into details, because if she does, if she admitted, actually, we were treated well under the circumstances. Very well. We were fed waters, kept comfortable. Then I was only kept there a few hours and I was put on a plane at their expense. If she says all that, she's breaking her narrative of the evil Israelis.
We arrived there, we were detained, and then we were... Yeah.
You know, I don't know if you know.
Hey, well, look at that again. She can't say it because it will break her narrative.
We arrived there, we were detained, and then we were...
And that's where it more or less comes to an end. But this, anyone's got a right to talk out against what's happening in Palestine. Everyone's got a right to turn around and criticise Israel for what's happening, how they're handling this situation. But at the same time, anyone with a balanced view would not dismiss October the 7th by saying we're not going to look at that because it's not important. It's basically saying the Jews are not important. It's only bad when things happen to Palestinians. But at the end of the day, I'm not convinced she genuinely is concerned about the Palestinians. It's just this makes her relevant. And once this situation passes over, guess what? She'll be looking for something new, some other bandwagon to jump on. She's got to stay relevant. That's her pay packet. That's her millions in the bank over time. But that's my thoughts on it, my lovelies.